Hello there, YouTube. Recently went to Mace Mid-Atlantic Convention Expo this weekend. Um, it was a great time, great local convention. It covers North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, Tennessee, Georgia, parts of Florida. We had some people from Alabama show up. Um, it is the main gaming convention this time of year in this area. There's pretty much nothing else going on the East Coast that I'm aware of at this point in time. The venue is really well run, lots of War Machine, X-Wing, any game you can think of, D&D, 40K, card games, games that are being put on by Cool Mini or not, etc. We're at this convention. Demos. One of my buddies does a game called Rubber Banditos, where essentially you get a little gun and you shoot rubber bands at a house and try to knock the stuff over to get points. Any type of games are welcome at this type of venue, whether it's a demo game, it's an in production, it's in development. Great convention. If you ever get a chance to go, I strongly recommend going. War Machine always pulls a good crowd whenever we do this, and you'll see some pictures showing most of what we had for Iron Arena and that sort of stuff here in a minute. Like I said, great convention. I can't say enough about it. Alright, here you have the Iron Arena prizes that were gathered up by the local press gangers. Blister packs, board games. The 3 glasses you see were made by some of the local PGs, are actually local being they came to the convention. I believe they're based out of South Carolina. They acid etched the symbol for War Machine and Hordes, the half Hordes, half War Machine face onto the glasses. A lot of the blister packs, everything was donated for this. We also had a Titan Gladiator Extreme that got snatched up pretty quick because everybody likes that. It is a beautiful model. Blister packs, Kickstarter bits. Most of this is partway through the second day. A good chunk of the original blisters were gone. But like I said, prize support was just phenomenal for this, and you know, it was never lacking. I was very pleased with it. This is for the Iron Arena points. The next photograph, you'll see some more tokens, some basic token holders, Iron Arena gauntlet items. Excuse me just a moment. Sorry, after a convention there's always the con crud and I'm trying to fight it off. Widgets, dice. The wooden stuff was made by the same local PG down in South Carolina. Tokens. It was an amazing turnout for prizes. If you lacked a prize or didn't get a prize, it's because you really didn't try. I mean, there was plenty to pick from. The point system essentially worked that you got a point for playing a game, etc. for some other stuff. I think the Steins were going at 55 points, and there was a Shredder plushie at one point. That got gone really quickly. But like I said, prize support was great. The PGs all did this. We didn't have any direct prize support from Privateer Press, but that was due to a logistics issue. And like I said, everybody donated. The blue bags you see in the corner are mystery bags. Essentially, a mystery bag is just whatever we had left over from last year, lost and found, etc. And it just gets put in one big bag. So either you get something really awesome, or you may be getting somebody's jewelry from last year that they forgot to pick up. So, one of the games I did manage to get into was a game against Strakov and obviously Cawdor. It was a 75-point game. My list was Gunbjorn, a full unit of stone with UA, felt collar, full unit of pygmy bushwhackers, a feral geist because I had an extra point, the Glacier King, the bomber, and then a full unit of highwaymen. His list was Strakov, 2 marauders, 2 juggernauts, a behemoth, full sniper or full unit of snipers with Kill Baylock, I believe, on the far right hand side of your screen. Winter Guard, rifleman with Kovnik Joe with the grenadier attachments. I didn't take a picture first or after initial setup. This is after the first turn. Essentially, he ran pretty much straight up. He put superiority up on the front marauder, then he put occultation on his caster, and that's pretty much all he did. Nothing else died from him doing anything that turn. My turn, I advanced off my deployment line, I had put snipe up on the highwaymen thinking I could get them a little bit further up and they would have range. They did not. The bomber, I moved him up and riled him just to get fury. I dumped everything I could into the stone, riled the Glacier King. Initially I was eyeballing trying to start shooting at things and his caster, but I didn't want to give away the threat ranges for the Glacier King just yet. So what I did is I moved up the Feral Geist, and then I moved up my Bushwhackers and killed, even combining ranged attacks. I only managed to kill one guy. It was really bad. Sometimes the dice gods are not with you. I'd also used the Fell Caller to put Pathfinder onto the Highwaymen, not realizing that they already had Pathfinder. Again, sometimes you just make mistakes when you're learning the game again, which is what I'm doing. I feeded with Gunbjorn, and when I explained it to my opponent, I saw his face kind of go down a little bit because now I had to figure out what he was going to do. Because essentially, Gunbjorn's feat is that you are immune to range damage, and you gain cover and cannot be knocked down. Everything in his army is ranged. The trick with Strakoff, from what I've been told and what I've seen, is you move him up, you kill some stuff after you put up Overtake to start moving your jacks further forward. Especially on Strakoff's feet turn, you can slingshot your jacks up really, really far. So he spent a good 5-10 minutes at this moment. This is the bottom of my turn. He's getting ready to do his turn. He spent a lot of time just trying to figure out what he could do with my feet, because my feet just totally shut down his plan. In the next picture, you're going to see what he did, and I'll explain that here in a second. Alright guys, in this photograph again, I didn't take a picture bottom of each turn for each player. I just sort of did one for overall. He moved up Strakoff to behind where the behemoth is now. Killed my Feral Geist, which got the Marauder that is in my lines to move up a little bit more from Overtake. And then he charged my Bomber with his Marauder and did a fairly good hit. Didn't kill him, but did a fairly good hit. And then there used to be one other Highwayman standing right there by the Marauder. Well, the Marauder killed that one and got his Juggernaut to move up some. Even with all that, he wasn't going to be able to get as much to my lines as he wanted. I had thought he was going to send the Marauder into my Glacier King to tie him up. He did not. I don't understand why. He upkept Occultation and Superiority on the Marauder he had coming in. And the yellow section right there in the middle of the board is a trench. So I told him, you realize you're not blocking line of sight to your caster? He's like, oh, I'm not worried about it, I got stealth. I said, okay. So on my turn, my feat was over. I moved, realizing that I had a couple options here. The one was to try to weather, and the other was try to annihilate his army. And then the third out of a couple would be to kill his caster. So I spent a few minutes trying to figure out how to do that, because he still had stealth up. Well, the stone removes stealth. So what I ended up doing was activating Gunbjorn, moving him over a little bit, dumping as much as I needed into the stone, and then casting Snipe onto the Glacier King. Excuse me. I then moved the stone up as far as was necessary and popped its aura, or did its aura, said no stealth, and then ran it up so that it could catch the caster. At that point, I moved up my Pygmy Bushwhackers and decided, well, this is the time to go for all the marbles, and did a 7-man combined ranged attack because I couldn't get the full unit to have line of sight to Strakoff. 7-man combined ranged attack into Strakoff. Did 7 or 8 damage, so a respectable amount given what I was dealing with. And then I decided, well, it's time to go for all the marbles, and checked line of sight with the Glacier King, and I had line of sight to his caster. Explained to him again about the stealth, because I had to remind him at one point. And boosted, held still for the aiming bonus, boosted to hit, and I just hit him. I mean, it was right there. Well, with the Glacier King, you get pushed back D3 inches, so he gets pushed back the full 3. Then I'm resolving my damage, so I boost the damage roll. I crank the damage roll and just kill him outright with one shot from the Glacier King. We talked about it afterwards. Even with the pushback, he would have had... we're not certain if he would have been in the stone's aura anymore, but he would have been within range. So the Glacier King pushing models after he hits them is kind of one of those catch-22 situations. The only other option I may have had would have been to try to attrition him down some, and with the amount of heavy jacks he had, that just was not going to happen at all. It was a great game. We talked about it afterwards. We did the math. On average dice, it would have taken 2 of his heavies to kill my Glacier King, but we both agreed if I had not killed him that turn, it was just going to turn into a bloodbath for me. So it was a really cool bottom of 2 assassination, which I didn't expect to be able to pull off with trolls, because I've never really been able to do that before. So still learning, still finding what Troll's niche is in Mark III, but I really liked how Gunny played. So you're probably going to see some more Gunbjorn on the channel. The other guy, he was a capital guy, coolest opponent I had all weekend, or one of the coolest I had all weekend, and it was just great fun. So they also had X-Wing, and I played in a tournament there. And then I had a couple pickup games. This is a picture of the pickup game with some Imperial stuff I was flying. The next picture is going to be with me flying my list, and then the other person flying the new Heroes of the Resistance expansion pack. And that is just a very, very powerful expansion pack. I mean, if you fly it right, it is insanely good. That was Rey and Finn in combination over there from the movie, in the Falcon, and then Poe Dameron with some of the new upgrades. It was just an amazingly good setup. I did not do overly well in this. I actually think I took 4th out of 6 people, but at the end of the day, it was great fun, and that's really what. Alright, in this photograph, one of my opponents made comment that she hated troll bricks, so I literally bricked as hard as I possibly could with Madrak 2, and I think she sort of shed some Legion tears, which was really nice, because I just like Legion. But I just took this photograph and showing it to you just to show you the amount of brick that was going on. She even said there's no way I can kill your caster, even if I could get a couple of your guys out of the way, because of Madrak's ability to have sack pawns and everything. Alright, this is Highlander, which was the Midnight Madness event. Essentially Highlander, at least the way we were running it this evening. You get 1 caster, 1 beast, or jack. And then you are dealt a card after all the players are there, and then there are corresponding numbers and colors, not suits obviously. Like I got the red 4, and then I deployed on another red 4, the red 4 of diamonds. And you deploy on your card. You have to be on your card when you deploy. First round of the game, you're not allowed to attack, target, damage anybody else. And the gray-shirted gentleman that you see in the photograph with the deck of cards, what he's doing is he's shuffling the cards, and that's the order you activate in. So my card's drawn, I activate. If another person's card's drawn and it's not going to affect anything I'm doing at all, they go ahead and activate. Once you get down to the last 3 or 4 people, they set in activation order, and you just go for the rest of the rounds. If you kill an enemy caster with your caster with a melee attack, you get the quickening, which is +1 attack and damage rolls, or +1 to attack and damage rolls. It's a really fun format. There are no friendly alliances other than if you make an alliance with your buddy, hey, don't shoot me in the back while I'm dealing with this dude that you can't kill. That can be kept, or that can be broken in a nanosecond, keeping in mind that everybody else at the table is remembering if you keep your word or not. Everybody hated the Calandra player because he put up Starcross and affected 90% of the table. So I went out after the second round. It was almost 1 o'clock in the morning. I went upstairs and went to bed. I don't know who won this one, but it's a fun little, nobody really cares, let's just roll dice and laugh together at people. I got to see Reyes kill strike off in 1 turn, and then the big extreme troll you see on the exact opposite corner of the table from me came up, and that was Madrak 2 behind him. And Madrak 2 came over and almost got killed on his turn by Reyes because he would miss an attack, and she has repos, so she can hit him back after he missed. And he missed 3 attacks with his caster. And a couple of her dice rolls went cold, so she didn't kill him. Then the beast came over and almost died before he killed her. because he kept missing with his War Beast, and he finally was about to just call it quits. Um, Final thoughts on the con. It's a great event. If y'all get time, come check it out. It really is worth coming and looking at. Uh, Lots of War Machine, lots of hordes. We pull huge numbers for War Machines. We have 2 full rows of tables dedicated just to War Machine and hordes in the biggest gaming room they have. Easily over the weekend we had 30 to 40 people come through the room that was playing War Machine and hordes, either in Iron Arena, demos, or any of the 3 tournaments we had going on. If y'all get a chance next year, I don't have the dates yet. I'll put a link to the website for Mace in the description below. Come out and check it out. And if I know it's a November con. It's generally the second weekend of every November. Come out and check it out. It really is worth it. If you can make it down, it's worth the time. It's a low-key con. So it's not a Gen Con. The vendors hall isn't as awesome as Gen Con or anything like that. But if you get an opportunity to come and see the con, please come down and check it out. I appreciate y'all listening to me ramble on for about 15-16 minutes now. I'm going to try to put some new stuff up. I got an Escalation League that's going to be starting here in the next couple of months, and I'm hoping to get some battle reports from that going on. It won't be me playing most of the time. It'll be somebody else, and I'll just be helping them learn the game. But I may do a little learner series of, hey, this is what he did wrong that maybe you could learn from not to do that. And again, I'll have people's permission before I post their stuff on the interwebs. Hope everybody has a good one. Have a good, fun holiday. I know that the American holiday, Thanksgiving, is coming up at the end of this month. If you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, go out, hug your family, hug your wife, hug your kids. But at any rate, y'all have a good one.